All right, friends, it is that time of the week again to act like we have our lives together and figure out what we're doing for this next week. I'm going to share with you guys a few things that I have been doing on Sundays or my day off in order to set myself up for success during the week and help me from overeating and binge eating. So this last week I didn't feel very good. I can still, kind of hear some congestion. So we're starting fresh this week, but I have been doing these things for the last 3 weeks, almost a month, and they have really helped as long as I am doing them. So the very first thing is we are planning out our dinners for the week and also my lunches. So I kind of shared some of this with you guys in a short about how I go get my lunches and then I get a coffee to kind of solidify taking my lunches, buying the groceries, and actually eating those lunches. So that is part of this as well, but it definitely goes deeper than that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to plan out what I want for lunches during the week, and then my boyfriend and I will figure out what we want for dinners during the week. And huge side note here, we do not meal prep anything. We are meal planners. It's like a guide for our week. We don't cook anything on Sundays in bulk. It's just we buy the ingredients for the dinners that we think we want for the week. So the hardest part is actually deciding what we want to eat for the week. I have been taking meats and cheeses for lunch, and honestly, it has not been filling me up as much as I would like it to. So I kind of need to change up my strategy for my lunches. I usually kind of do that on the fly in the store. So we are going to start by kind of planning dinners. So we already decided the first dinner is for tonight. We're doing steak and what was it?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Shells and cheese.
Shells and cheese. And also another thing to this going to the grocery store, buying the groceries and actually using the groceries. We are allowed to have one, like, I don't want to say cheat meal just because I don't like that term, but we're allowed to have one fast food meal. So tonight we're kind of flipping that into we're having our steak, but we're also going to have mac and cheese with it. I want to try that Reuben casserole your mom was talking about. What else are you in the mood for?
We had tacos a little bit. Does that sound good?
Taco bowls? We do taco bowls. Okay. Chicken sounds good, but I don't know what kind of chicken. The pork rind chicken? Okay. Pork rind crusted chicken, which I have a recipe for that on my channel, so I will link that in the card so you can try it because it is delicious. And once we get back from the store, I will show you the other thing that I have started doing more recently, but has also been helping. Most important part, don't forget your list. Take the list with you. Most important step, and I always forget it. Oh, sorry. Been all my life. Half and half for my coffee. What are you getting for your coffee? Should we do the original cheddar or garlic? Okay, I'll do the cheddar again then. These are so good. Okay, these are the waffles that I get, the Birch Benders. Our dinner game plan changed. We are going to do steaks for one of the dinners this week, and then we're going to do our not so healthy meal tonight. So I am having a Korean inspired meal, and the boys are going to have pizza. Let's try that again. There. I found the sugar-free bread and butter chips. Okay, so now that all of the, what are they called? Groceries are put away, I'm going to focus on the second thing that has been helping us. This one I have not done for very long. We've just been kind of working on it over the last week, but it has really helped us to stay on track with cooking more at home and not being tempted to get fast food as much. So I'm gonna pick up the kitchen while the food is cooking. We get into really bad habits in the evenings of cooking and then putting all of our dishes in the sink and not touching them until not even the next day, like a couple days down the road. So we have really been trying to do better about picking up the kitchen at night, kind of resetting it. Now, the dishes, I don't really pressure myself to do all of the dishes, but most of the time there's not that many, so it takes me like 15 minutes to do it and pick everything up. So it has been so helpful. And I don't know if you are like me, if you're in a cluttered, dirty kitchen, I can't focus on cleaning or eating healthy. I meant cooking and eating healthy. Like, I literally do not want to cook in a like gross space that I have to clean before I can cook. I have made 2 previous videos of what my kitchen looks like 98% of the time, to be honest with you, and it's pretty bad. So I knew I needed to implement something because it really does affect my mental health and it affects how I am able to eat that week, because if I'm overwhelmed in my kitchen and I know that coming home, I am more likely to stop at like a fast food place or the store and pick up something I don't have to even like put on a dish. Another reason that grocery shopping and this lunch thing works is because during the week I have food to look forward to when I come home. It's not like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna have tonight? We have to plan a meal and then I might have to go get groceries for that meal. It gets very overwhelming for me, and that's when I tend to not stick to things, is when I'm overwhelmed or it seems like too much work or there's just too many steps. But without further ado, I'm gonna get cleaning. I'm gonna start my food, and I do have one more thing that has helped me a lot in the past. Now, I have been struggling with it lately, but when I was doing well with it, it worked really well for me. So stick around for that one. I will talk about that after all the cleaning and food is done. I forgot to show you what I was doing while I was doing it. I am putting, like, this is my to-go cup for my coffee in the morning. I put my collagen and my sweetener in there already. I use the Perfect Keto collagen. And then I will put this under, like, in the coffee maker. So in the morning, all I have to do is, like, put the K-cup in and push the button. It just kind of takes a little bit of the guess and prep work out of it, and that way I don't forget to put this in there, but then I also don't feel overwhelmed in the morning by all the things that I have to do. It just cuts out an extra step. Because I am not a morning person, and my whole family will tell you that. I also put my multivitamins on top of my collagen, and right next to, like, all of my medicines, like my allergy medicines and stuff that I take, so that I don't forget things. So, I mean, that's just like a life hack, just cluster things all together. Even if it don't look too pretty, I mean, it works for me, and it keeps me taking my supplements and my allergy meds. I have got about 10 minutes, and then I have to put something else in for about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna see what 15 minutes worth of dishes gets me. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna push myself to do much more, because we're trying to find some grace and some balance. It's all about balance. I finished all of the dishes and with 1 minute to spare. So now for my last tip of how I've been overcoming binge eating and overeating. If you kind of saw my grocery haul, a lot of it is low carb keto foods, because when I was eating keto 100%, my binge eating and overeating tendencies were basically non-existent. The reason that I fell off of keto was not because keto was unsustainable, it was hard to stick to. It was completely because of my mental health. I started therapy and started covering up some things that I have no coping mechanisms for. My coping mechanisms are binge eating, overeating, self-isolating, like all of these self-sabotaging coping mechanisms you can have. When I started to bring things up like that with my therapist, I had nowhere else to turn besides food. And all the work I had done focusing on keto and eating a keto lifestyle, it really couldn't match up to the amount of trauma that I was uncovering. So I really do think that keto is a very good tool for binge eating and overeating. I also am trying to prevent type 2 diabetes, and I am probably insulin resistant again, probably pre-diabetic again. So those are also goals that I have. So I personally turn back towards keto, and that's when I say, like, when I'm eating well, I mean I'm eating keto, because that's just the best that my body feels. Now, that might be controversial because of diet culture. People probably think that it's just another diet to try and you're just going to go right back to binge eating. However, if you're not spiking your insulin 7 to 10 times a day, you're not having those crashes. When I have those crashes in the evening is when my binge eating tendencies are the worst. Also, keto is you are very satiated when you are on keto, right? I would eat 2 meals a day and feel completely full, feel great. I ate a lot of food for those 2 meals. I never had to, starve myself. I ate over 1,200 calories. For me, the benefits way outweigh not, having carbs and things like that. And I will get back there. I will get back to that. However, I'm still working through the mental health and the coping mechanisms. And I have made leaps and bounds in the last 2 months with therapy and setting goals. And these things have helped me a lot. And my therapist knows that getting back to keto is something that's really important to me. And she is very supportive of it, kind of tapering myself off of this standard American diet I've been eating, which probably did contribute to a lot of my seasonal depression and things like that. Also, my anxiety is skyrocketing when I'm on the standard American diet too. So yeah, I don't know if that is controversial or an unpopular opinion. However, I will die on that hill. That is a hill I'm willing to die on because I've experienced it firsthand. I felt like I was healed from binge eating on the foods that I would normally binge eat on, but mental health kind of took over there, so we got to get those back in balance. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that some of these tips helped you. These are just things that I have been implementing in my life, and they have been slowly making huge changes, and I can see the progress and I can feel it working. It feels very habitual now to go to the store on Sundays, get our groceries, and just try to stick to things. And it also helps that I have a very supportive family as well. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!